Hello guys, my name is Golden Boy and I believe that you are okay. Now, Dr. Edward Robinson is going to talk about the DNA series which were discovered in Africa, and have never been talked about ever since it was discovered. Yet, it was hidden. So guys, stay tuned and listen to this video. I'll be at the end of the video.
A book called The Mark of Oppression, and these two publishers, Cardiner and Oversee, said that they could not understand how is it that a group of people, African Americans, have been bludgeoned over their heads mentally and spiritually for hundreds of years and are still surviving. They couldn't understand it, and they said so in their book. The answer came out in 1996, why it is that not only have African Americans survived the worst mental and spiritual bludgeoning of any people in recorded history, but they are becoming champions of everything in which there is a level playing field. No matter what it is, we predominate in every field. This is why they won't teach our children African history, because they know that once our children get on the same level playing field as their white counterparts, that they will dominate just like we dominate in basketball, baseball, football, track and field, and anything else in which there is a level playing field. So that while they teach their children about the greatness of their European ancestors, they won't teach our children about the greatness of their African ancestors, because then that would be a level playing field in academia, and they know that we will predominate just like all of these examples we've given them, that our children predominate when they know who they are from the African historical point of view. Now here's what I found out in 1996. A group of geneticists wrote this book. Little tiny geneticists.
Can you identify where they're from and the group, how it came about?
Yeah, okay. All right, sure. Yes, indeed. As an organization is called the American Association for the Advancement of Science. The American Association for the Advancement of Science. Now, this organization is composed of people who study about DNA and the genome. And you've been reading about the DNA and the genomes. Well, this group of scientists came upon an idea by accident at first, that different groups of people had different numbers of DNA series.
Explain that.
Now, a DNA series means that when your DNA is located, and say they get a hair from your head and they subject it to certain tests, they say, well, this is the DNA of Minister Brown, and yours is different from everybody else in the world. All right? Then they found further that not only are their DNA series different, but the number of DNAs in there are different in different groups. Whites have a different number of DNA, and blacks have a different number of DNA series. Apes have a different number of DNA series. Then they found this amazing thing, that the greater the number of DNA series, the smarter the person, the group is, the greater the probability of genius within that group. So they tested the orangutans, these 15 geneticists from around the world. Now, these geneticists came from 9 different universities, and we have here on the cover of the pamphlet they put out the names of these geneticists, and you can see them right there, right beneath the title of this pamphlet. Now, this pamphlet, most people have no idea what it means. But breaking it down, and after you study it and have it explained to you by a geneticist, a trained geneticist, you will find that they're talking about DNA series. Now, here are the names of these 15 geneticists from around the world, University of Japan, University of China, Yale University is the headquarters of this organization called the American Association for the Advancement of Science. And you see it down there. Now this was copyrighted in 1996. All right. What it said is this, and this is the mind-blowing part. It said that when they tested the orangutan, they found out he only had 3 DNA series. When they tested the gorilla, they found out the gorilla has 4 DNA series, because he's a little smarter than the orangutan. They tested the chimpanzee, which is an ape, and found that he had 5 DNA series. Then they went all into the different races of the world. They went into Europe and tested the DNA series of the English, the French, the German, the Spanish, the Russians, and found they had 6 DNA series. Then they put all of this, what they found from around the world, on a map. And this map really is called the intelligence map of the world, because they tested 116 different human groups and found their DNA series numbers. All of them, all over the world, have 6. And they put the numbers in form of a little flag that you can see on this map. These little flags have a color. And they show, oh, this is upside down. I'm sorry. Yeah. And they show that the English have only 6, and all into Europe, only 6. Went over into Japan and China, and they only have 6. Over into America, which is predominantly European, and they only have 6. Then they came to Africa, and they came to the part of Africa. Now all the rest of them, they put in little flag colors. Those flag colors are orange, red, if you notice. But when you come to Africa, found out that the African people have 9 DNA series, from here just below the Shanghai Empire down to the foot of Africa. All those 10 nations, of which African Americans descended from one of them. We have 9 DNA series, the greatest possibility of genius in our group. Now it's answered this age-old question. How can a people survive being told they're nothing for 400 years, never allowed to learn that they came from beautiful cities, and told they came from a jungle? How could a people survive? How can a people become champions in everything they touch? Because they have 9 DNA series, while the rest of the world has only 6. This is why they copyrighted this. And you'll notice on the outside of this, now this map is taken, I took this map right from this page here, and I blew it up so that the world could see it. Even though this is copyrighted, I can't let you have this book because it's copyrighted.
Can you give us the title of the book?
The title of the book is called Global Patterns of Linkage, Disequilibrium at the CD4 Locus and Modern Human Origins. Global Patterns of Linkage, Disequilibrium at the CD4 Locus and Modern Human Origins. Now you have to be a geneticist to even know what they're talking about. But when we broke it down and interviewed Dr. Kidd, the head, he's the chairman at Yale University, He broke it down into plain, everyday English so that the world would know that the African American is descended from those people who gave to the world the Great Pyramid, gave to the world science, gave to the world mathematics. A black man named Amos gave algebra to the world 3,700 years ago. It's in the world books, it's in the encyclopedias. They don't want our children to know this, because then that would make the playing field level for white children. And you know what happens when they made the playing field level in basketball and allowed black men to play. Out of 29 of the top seeded players in the world today, 28 are African American. When they opened up the Penn relays, when they opened up the Olympics and allowed blacks to run back in 1932, we've won all the gold medals. And the same thing will happen in the classroom when they allow our children to learn their African history. That's what this is saying.
Dr. Robison, are you saying that the African American also has 9 strands of DNA?
I am saying that we are descended from the West Africans who have 9 DNA series. On this map that these geneticists, you see the green down here? Well, that's where we're from. That's where African Americans are from.
Did they test African Americans?
They couldn't. They tested Americans as a group, whites, and they have 6. They didn't test African Americans because they know that we are the same people from West Africa.
So they didn't have to?
Didn't have to.
Okay, that's true.
That's true.
How is it that you think that this evolved, that we evolved with 9 strands?
9.
Below the Sahara.
Well, it tells you in here. This book tells why. Preemie babies, they leave in the mother's womb too early, never develop to the same height that a baby that runs a full term. Right?
Yes.
White folks in the China, all mankind arose in Africa. All mankind arose in this part of Africa, right here. It's called the womb of Africa. That's the womb of Africa over here. Right there.
Between the Middle East?
No. That Kenya.
Uganda.
Yeah, that area. All mankind arose there. The great-granddaddies of white folks, great-granddaddies of Chinese, great-granddaddies of Japanese, our great-granddaddies, all of us look the same. All look like apes. That was called Australopithecus. I don't know how technically you want me to get. Australopithecus was the granddaddy, great-great-granddaddy of all races. Now, they left the womb 800,000 years ago. Whites left the womb and wandered up into Europe, and the Chinese wandered over into Asia. And they left the womb before they were fully developed. That's why they did not develop melanin like we did. Those of us who stayed developed full term. They never developed the melanin stimulating hormone. This is why we're the only race on the planet that does not have head lice in our hair.
Head lice.
Head lice. They're little bugs.
Yes.
Cooties. Yeah.
Cooties, right.
Cooties. We're the only race on the planet because we developed full term. We lost our straight hair, that animal hair, over 150,000 years ago. You see, all other races have head lice because they never developed fully. Melanin is this magical chemical that is developed on the 5th layer of the epidermis of your skin. Now, we've been brainwashed to believe that the less melanin you have, the prettier you are, because that's the brainwash.
Yes.
That's like saying a naked person is prettier than a person with beautiful clothes on. If you get what I'm trying to say, the scenario, yeah. Melanin heals. When you cut yourself, the melanin rushes to the surface of the skin and forms a scab. What color is that scab? I don't care what color. Brown, dark brown.
Right.
That's the melanin
Right.
coming up to heal you. This is why we do not get skin cancer, because of the melanin prevents it.
Right.
The only place where we can get skin cancer, we learned it in the inquiry today, is on the palm of the hand and the fingers. And can't believe we'd be putting our hand up to the sun to get skin cancer. 2 million years ago, Australopithecus, that's all was on Earth, the great-great-granddaddy of all human beings. And he was about 3 DNA series. And then as the millions of years went on, he evolved into what is known as Homo erectus. Now, he had about 3.5 DNA series. They're about the level of the orangutan. If you look at the orangutan today, you can see what our ancestors looked like 2.5 million years ago, because he has the same golden hair as Europeans' hair right today. The orangutan. You've heard of the orangutan over there in India? Now, maybe this is a little too rough for your audience, and you're going to get bombarded out of your place in the station, because white folks don't like to hear this at all. So, as the hundreds of thousands of years went by, we acquired, all mankind acquired more and more. But those who left Africa 800,000 years ago did not get past 6 DNA series. They had left the womb. The womb is Africa. That's where you develop.
Hello guys, my name is Golden Boy, and I believe that you have watched this video about Robinson, and he was talking about the series of African DNAs, which I never talked about. Now, Dr. Robinson is a prominent figure in the study of African history, and his groundbreaking research and dedication to uncovering the rich and diverse stories of African people have left an edible mark on the field. But who is he, and what makes his work so significant? Now, I want us to find about this, that Dr. Robinson was born with a passion for history and mission to tell the stories of African from African perspective. His journey into the world of academic began at a younger age, driven by deep curiosity about his heritage and desire to challenge existing narratives. Now, Robinson in this video pursued his higher education at some of the prestigious institutions, earning his doctorate in African history. His early work focused on the pre-colonial histories of African civilization, shining a light on the sophisticated cities that existed long before historic colonization. So, one of Dr. Robinson's notable contribution is his extension research on Kingdom of Mali and the illustrious reign of Mansa Musa. His work provided a detailed account of the empire, wealth, trade network, and culture achievement, paintings, vivid pictures of one African greatest. Now guys, in this video he has talked about series about the DNA series, which have never been talked about. Do you think this video is gay, is racist? Because there are a lot of people who are saying that it is somehow racist, but now I want to tell you that we are genius, and ain't nothing we can do about anything in this world. Only when we are brainwashed, either by the devil or by our own sell-out people. So God said, study to show that thyself prove knowledge is kingdom. Now when we believe in Jesus Christ, our Savior, and live by his commandment, we are all the chosen one. In the 90s, doctors found out that there was a vaccine for AIDS that worked for blacks and Asians, and not the people of European descent. So they didn't release it because they believed that it was 80% effective. So do you think this one was also established? This is just my own thinking. Now, our own melanin, our own melanin, our own melanin helps us balance their weather and environmental. So, guys, whether they hate us or not, we don't give about this. Now, this is a Tipu tip was an African Muslim who ran down peaceful African tribes, selling them off to any country interested in amassing tremendous fortune. Yes, blacks can outdo whites even in the slavery trade. This man's is racist rhetoric against people of different color rivals any kingdom. Yes, even the people dominated the slaves trade. He was a black Muslim who ran down peaceful tribes. So this is something like that is okay, but the only thing that is the oldest civilization has always existed in the US and whatever we need to read is the state of modern heart, so that we can be of right of things. Now, whites are not from Africa; they are from the ice past the Caucasian mountains. Only black people come from Alcaben, Africa. So all mankind didn't evolve from Africans. The out African theory has been debunked. African descendants are from Omoretas, Asians from Netherlands, and Europeans from Cro-Magnon. I'm sub-Saharan. It makes sense that some of the people have 9 DNA series. Maybe that's why the Salites came up with the phrases of "a cat has 9 lives." They're talking about us, and it is hard to get rid of us where there are big cats than the kingdom of the jungle. So this video, I hope that you have learned about everything that you have listened from Dr. Robinson, and I also believe that some of the things that yes are true, and others were saying that we need to stop claiming on things that the black people talk about the past and the history that we need to believe in. No, we also need to start believing on things that are partial or fully true. So I believe that this video is very, very true because there's a lot of evidences which this guy has brought out. And also, I didn't have much to talk about because majority of things that he said, I also believe they are true. Guys, have a heart. Consider subscribing in this channel. Take me to 5,000 subscribers. Bye.